Hi, my name's Bryan Maynard. I live in Arlington, Prince Edward Island. My father, his name was Kent Maynard. He was the president of the Tyne Valley rink, actually, at the time of his death back in August of 1993. He was in a tragic farming accident, actually, when Kyle and I were just 2 days before Kyle and I turned 10 and 8. I keep telling people all the time that Kyle and I we share a birthday, so when I was 2 years old, Kyle was born, so I only got one cake to myself, and Kyle's shared a birthday cake with me ever since, so it's pretty special. But that particular time there, 2 days before we turned 10 and 8, it was pretty tragic. After that, they decided that they would construct a memorial, actually, in the rink, in the canteen, in his honor, which consisted of a picture of him and a kind of a one-page outline as to who he was and what he meant to the community, and then also one of his jerseys with, of course, the number 14 on it, because he wouldn't wear anything else. That's been a number that's just been imprinted in my memory forever. It was a number he wore his whole life. It's been passed down to our children. I know my daughter's favorite number is 14, and now every chance that Kyle and I get to wear the number 14, it's a special number to us. The rink always held a special part of his heart. He was a farmer. If he wasn't farming, he was playing hockey, and if he wasn't playing hockey, he was probably farming, or trying to get Kyle and I to cheer for the Toronto Maple Leafs, which he failed miserably at, actually. The rink was always a hub of the community. It's kind of where everybody congregates, whether you play hockey or not, whether you have a child in minor hockey. It's just a spot where you can go and see your neighbors, have a chat, grab a bite to eat. And it was just so important to the community in general. I know it was important to Dad. He was quite a storyteller, and there was no better place to tell a story and to hear a good story than at the rink. One of the stories I'm most often told about my father and his time at the Tyne Valley rink was actually one of the games that he had back when I was quite young. He was very famous for being late to many of these hockey games because, of course, the barn work has to be done first. So he arrived late one evening for hockey, and of course it was dark, and he was jumbling around the back of the truck and grabbed the gear and grabbed what he thought was a stick, and went in. And of course, a lot of the guys were giving him the gears about how many goals he was going to shovel in that night, and he was getting his skates on quite quickly, and he couldn't understand why everyone was referring to him putting some pucks in the net with a shovel, until he stood up and actually went to walk out the door and realized that the stick was still in the back of the truck. He actually had the shovel in his hand. So the boys never let him live that one down. There was that Sunday morning, I actually heard via Facebook that the rink was on fire. Immediately my gut sank. It's more than a rink to me. The bigger picture here is that we got hundreds of minor hockey kids that truly at that moment were just devastated. They had no idea that maybe we could even get them a place to finish out their season, or whether we were going to be able to rebuild. We need to focus on getting a new facility up, and I'm sure we'll put another memorial up, and life will go on, but at the same time, it was very sad to see it go. I guess what I like to think is that, Dad didn't sit on the rink board for any wild amount of money or prestige. It's a volunteer job. It's a thankless job, but he was proud to do it. And I guess the legacy that I would think that he left is the fact that his two sons grew up to want to do exactly what he did. We farm, we sit on rink board committees, we help out in the community, we fundraise, and we do whatever we can to keep what's important to us going, which is our rink and our community. And I guess I would have to think that he'd be proud that we picked things up exactly where he left things off.